There's a book by a Stanford grad named Sheena Iyengar, The Art of Choosing. And here's the backstory to her book. In a grocery store near Stanford, where she went to school, Sheena went shopping one day, and there were so many options that it was just overwhelming to her. In this particular grocery store in Palo Alto, there were over 300 choices for jam and jelly alone. And she thought, if this overwhelms me, maybe it does other people. So she ran a groundbreaking study where some customers at the store would go past a tasting table with 24 varieties of jam. And other customers would go past a table where there were only 6. In those days, stores all had assumed that the more choices you give a customer, the more likely they'll buy something, right? More options, more purchases. Seems to make sense. But what Sheena discovered was the customers who saw the 6 jam display ended up being 10 times more likely to buy something than the ones who saw the 24 jam display. These people got jam fatigue. They couldn't choose at all. They rarely bought jam. And based on her research, she coined a phrase, option overload, and changed the way that many stores do business, like Trader Joe's, Costco. Part of their business model now is to keep the SKUs down, keep the options down, because of her research, which says more options cause us more stress. Option overload. Well, maybe you feel option overload when you approach life. And you wonder, what is it that God wants me to do with my life? There's so many options. And even when you approach the Bible, so much content, so many verses, how do you know what's the most important thing to God of all this stuff? Well, as you saw in church 2 weeks ago, one day Jesus was asked this very question. Which commandment is the most important of all? And Jesus replied, this is the most important. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And he said, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And in Matthew's gospel, Jesus adds this line, all the law and the prophets hang on these 2 commandments. In other words, love God, love people, and all the rest follows. Last time in church, I focused on the first phrase, love God. This weekend, we're going to be talking about love people, love your neighbor as you love yourself. What does that even mean? Why is it so hard? We're going to talk about it. And in the meantime, as you go through your day today, remember, love God, love people, and all the rest follows. We have a full weekend at TLC, the Adventures in Parenting class at 11 a.m., the ADHD Parent Support Group at 12:30, membership classes at 12:30, and St. Patrick's Day treats, basically green candy. Hope to see you here Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 9 and 11.